Restored Republic via GCR update as of February 10, 2018. Compiled by Judy Byington. Transcript and links on iqdcalls.com. A. Intel Alert, Operation Disclosure GCR/RV. 1. Keep a watch on the stock market. According to a particular source, the 800 numbers would be released once the stock market fell to a certain level. 2. Members of the cabal have pulled out approximately $5 trillion from the stock market. These funds were going directly into the new financial system to be converted into asset/gold-backed currency. This would allow the alliance to monitor all funds, thus forcing the cabal into submission. 3. The RV was the key to bringing in the new financial system through redemption of fiat currencies, IQD, VND, etc., and historical bonds, ZIM notes. Note: the Alliance was a nickname for all of the terrestrial good factions working for the benefit of humanity. They were not a single organization, or faction. The Chinese elders were part of the Alliance. B. TNT call Rayren 98, Tony, replay on iqdcalls.com. Regarding 800 numbers. 1. 2 days ago the IMF sent instructions to 16 regional offices around the world to get the 800 numbers published. They released the numbers to the banks. 2. There were 16 regional offices, 1 in Canada, 2 in the US, East Coast and West Coast. 3. The US was divided by districts that would only accept calls from that specific area code designation. That means you can't call 800 numbers outside of your regional area. 4. You will be asked who you currently bank with and accordingly assigned. If you do not have an account, a bank will be randomly designated for you. Regarding the RV. 5. A notice has been sent to area-wide banks to prepare for system enhancements by February 12 for foreign currency exchanges. Additional tasks must be completed for upcoming foreign currency services. Some bank employees have reported receiving said notice at close of business. 6. In Iraq this week salaries were paid at a different, newer rate, but details were not shared. 7. The Saturday/Sunday approval of the budget may, or may not, be an issue. 8. The Iraq parliament planned to vote on the budget on Sunday, February 11 so they can set the dinar rate for Monday, February 12 meetings, with over 1,500 businesses investing in Iraq. Some say the Iraqi budget does not have to be in place for the RV to happen. 9. The IMF sent a memo to the Central Bank of Iraq telling them to immediately adjust the dinar rate back to a pre-Saddam era and then adjust it for inflation. If so, that should come out around $3.81. 10. They want people asking for contract rates to exchange first. When the contract rate monies were gone, everyone else would receive the flat screen rate. 11. Our appointments could be made 2 hours after the 800 numbers were released. 12. If you had less than $10 million to exchange, you would be doing your exchange at the screen rate with a specially appointed bank teller. If you wanted to negotiate that rate, you would need to make an appointment with a wealth manager. 13. The screen rate was what the currency showed at that particular point in time on the bank screen. The currency rates would be floating up and down on the forex. At first they would go up in value to a certain point, and then drastically fall to the fixed rate they would assume on the international market from that point on. 14. My expectation, not a prediction, is that if dinar comes out at $3.71, then they want to cap it at $8, even if that takes 10 to 14 days to get to that level on forex. 15. They were looking for humanitarian projects for the ZIM, and that might take a little while because the projects have been vetted and approved, and at least in part based in Zimbabwe. That would possibly give you a rate of $1 to $2. 16. Looking forward to the weekend. The 800 numbers hadn't been released yet. Are on the way. The IMF has told the CBI what to do and we're waiting for them to do it. If the Iraqi budget has to be out by Sunday, we'll hear about it and let you know. See, Tank, The Truth, GCR/RV Speak Intel Update, Tank, link on iqdcalls.com. 1. The military told us that exchanges started this morning February 8 at around 6:30 a.m. EST, but 800 numbers hadn't been released yet. 2. Other sources told us that the 800 number release process had been finalized. They were releasing them by region, and for us to only call that number. 3. The deep state was given until February 8 at noon to release liquidity. 4. There was an agenda to destroy the world's economy and swoop in and offer a solution to look like the savior of the world. They work both sides of the war so they can control the outcomes and always come out on top. 5. The cabal's solution was to force the world to use their nothing-backed Fed coin as the new world currency. This is just another cryptocurrency, backed by promises and lies. This enables them to have complete control of the monetary system without even having the expense of printing up money. 6. The Rothschilds were one of the trustees on the Mana World Holding Trust. They have not been since their contract expired in 2012. They're still trying to convince every government in the world that they are the ones in control. This is a lie. 7. There will be a revaluation, a financial reset, and some kind of exchange. It might not be the way we thought, but we are breaking through every day. 8. We have to unite to get this done and face the reality. We have all been deceived by professional liars on all levels who have spent a lifetime playing both sides of every war. This is not a wild scheme but a way of life for them. There is no shame for us to have been wrong. There is shame in us staying wrong. 9. The cabal knows they can win if they just hold out until March. Then the entire world will be desperate for a savior. And that's what they'll be. Saving themselves at our expense. D. Dr. Clark, ignore the obvious. Dr. Clark response. 1. We reiterate once again what we posted February 2, 18, link on iqdcalls.com. Ignore all the obvious, written and spoken, no matter who it's from, this side of the pond or that side of the pond, including all intel providers. The obvious is not the way of it. 2. We are strictly and specifically focused on the very important activities that take place from February 15 to 19, 2018. 3. Watch the U.S. actions next week starting Friday, February 9. E. Breaking news: Bill and Hillary Clinton to be indicted. Freedom Daily, The Washington Times. 1. For years Bill and Hillary Clinton have evaded prosecution for dozens of crimes. Since the Clintons are top leading liberal politicians, they have been able to fly under the radar despite the public outcry for their arrest and prosecution. 2. Last year, during the presidential campaign, Clinton was cleared of any wrongdoing by the former FBI Director James Comey for the use of a private server and deleting countless sensitive emails, which happens to be a federal crimes. Instead of Hillary being indicted, she was cleared of all charges. 3. Then she began to accuse President Trump of Russian collusion and a myriad of other crimes worthy of his impeachment. 4. Last week, new evidence of Hillary Clinton's involvement in the Uranium One scandal was revealed, which could land her behind bars sooner than later after the first indictments have been handed out over this weekend, but that is just the beginning. 5. An Arkansas grand jury has convened to indict both Bill and Hillary Clinton as well as countless other Clinton Foundation employees, which means we may finally see justice happen in our lifetime. 6. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has ordered prosecutors at the Department of Justice to begin interviewing FBI agents about evidence they uncovered in a criminal investigation into a highly controversial uranium deal that involves Bill and Hillary Clinton. 7. Corey Highland, a U.S. attorney picked by Trump in 2017, has convened a grand jury in Little Rock, Arkansas, that has been working hard for last several months, according to the Washington Post. Highland has promised to deliver swift justice to victims of the Clinton Foundation. 8. Breitbart, an 11-count indictment has been handed down from a grand jury investigating possible Russian bribery involving former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's Uranium One deal negotiated when she was part of the Obama administration. 9. The indictment was levied against Maryland resident Mark Lambert, a former co-president of a nuclear transportation company involved in Hillary Clinton's deal to sell U.S. uranium interests to a Russian company. 10. A Department of Justice statement says that the 54-year-old Lambert was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to violate the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, FCPA, and to commit wire fraud, 7 counts of violating the FCPA, 2 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of international promotion money laundering. 11. The charges stem from an alleged scheme to bribe Vadim Mikorin, a Russian official at JSC Technobeksport, Tenex, a subsidiary of Russia's State Atomic Energy Corporation and the sole supplier and exporter of Russian Federation uranium and uranium enrichment services to nuclear power companies worldwide, in order to secure contracts with Tenex. 12. Peter Schweizer, Government Accountability Institute President and Breitbart News Senior Editor-at-Large, broke the Uranium One scandal in his book Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped Make Bill and Hillary Rich. 13. The Obama administration was required to approve the sale because it transferred 20% of U.S. uranium stocks to Russia. As it happens, Hillary Clinton was on the federal board that approved the deal in 2010. 14. Julian Assange posted a tweet showing a chess piece in a move from what many hail as the greatest chess game of all time in a step from the 1918 Capablanca vs. Marshall game. Checkmate is just one move away, which is a signal to Bill and Hillary that they are about to go down and it is about damn time. F. Stock market, the bloodbath continues. Stock market news headlines for February 9, 2018. G. Judge Anna Von Reitz, the government under contract. H. What do the FBI, DOJ, Secret Society, Our Lady have in common? I. Pete Saget, links on iqdcalls.com. J. Tax code not written to apply to Americans, including the Social Security tax, video link on iqdcalls.com. End report. Transcript and links on iqdcalls.com.